It's a story we've been following for more than a year. Tonight, Dateline is digging deeper into the disappearance of Venus Stewart. The mother of two young girls was last seen at her parents' home in Colon Township in April of 2010. Almost 1 year after Venus was last seen, her estranged husband, Doug, was sentenced to life in prison for her murder. But eyewitnesses and surveillance cameras supported his alibi that he was in Virginia the day it happened, more than 700 miles away. So how could he be in two places at once? Dennis Murphy has a preview of tonight's story that unravels the strange, tangled web that had investigators seeing double.
In the first days after Venus Stewart's disappearance, police searched miles of rolling farm country and thick wooded areas all over western Michigan. Detective Scott and other investigators also couldn't ignore the tips coming in, including the possibility of an abduction by a stranger.
A woman goes out the front door in her pajamas and is never seen again. Someone would be rightfully fearful, is there somebody crazy on the loose, abducting people?
Absolutely.
And you're getting citizen calls.
Yes.
People saying, I saw a funny-looking guy over at the lake the other day.
Yes.
They even dredged that chilly lake where there'd been reports of a soaking wet man by the water's edge. But they found nothing.
It was miserable conditions. I didn't hear anybody complain once.
I think that's the best place too, that north side.
Friends and family, meanwhile, were looking for Venus on their own. Her Aunt Mary even kept a shovel in her car, just in case. Venus's husband, Doug, was still living in Newport News in Virginia. He gave a reporter a telephone interview a week in.
Now that the timeline has gone so far, I'm getting very worried and very concerned.
Despite their ceaseless marital battles, Doug insisted he still cared about her.
I don't know what is next, to be honest with you. Just keep watching the news and pray and hope for the best.
But Doug Stewart remained a suspect, even though the FBI had confirmed his alibi that he'd been in Virginia. Shane Krieger, a detective with the Michigan State Police, went to his apartment in Newport News. Doug was home.
What'd you see? What did he tell you?
Just emotionless.
Does he ask about his kids?
No, and as a matter of fact, at one point I was searching his kid's bedroom, and he walked in and asked me if I wanted their bunk bed. He was willing to give me their bunk bed because he said he's leaving it.
So it's surplus, it's ancient history for me?
Yes.
The detective didn't find much of anything in the apartment. But inside this forensics facility at the Newport News PD, another team from the Michigan State Crime Lab working Doug's truck would hit major pay dirt. In fact, dirt was what they started with.
The truck looked like a sty.
The truck was in disarray, yes. It had not been cleaned.
Scraps of papers, old French fries, and crumpled up receipts. It looked like leftovers from a college road trip. But one receipt in particular would turn out to be a case maker. An investigator immediately called Detective Scott back in Michigan.
When he called me, he said, "Are you sitting down?"
Now you can see the Deadly Game special. It airs again tonight on Dateline at 9:30, right here on Wood TV 8.